While my 5-year-old was in critical care, my parents were tagging restaurants. But 3 days later my sister texted, "You'll still send the $8,000 for the mortgage, right? The kids are expecting iPads." I blocked her immediately. The next day my dad called repeatedly. When I answered, he snapped, "Your sister shouldn't suffer because you're emotional." I didn't yell. I just hung up and stared at my phone like it had just slapped me across the face. My daughter Lily, my 5-year-old baby, was lying in a hospital bed 20 feet away from me, hooked up to machines I couldn't even name, fighting pneumonia so severe the doctors used words like critical and touch and go. And my father had just called me emotional for not wiring my sister $8,000. $8,000. Let me back up because I need you to understand how we even got here. My name is Harper, I'm 32, and up until 3 days ago, I thought I had a pretty typical American family. Complicated, sure, but whose isn't? My parents, Ron and Diane, live in Arizona. My older sister, Vanessa, lives about 40 minutes from them with her husband Kyle and their 3 kids. I'm in Oregon, about 1,000 miles away, which has always felt like just enough distance to keep things manageable. For the past 2 years I've been helping Vanessa financially. Not small amounts either. I'm talking about covering her mortgage some months, paying for her kids' extracurriculars, even funding a family vacation last summer because, and I quote, "the kids deserve to make memories." I did it because I love my nieces and nephews. I did it because Vanessa always made it sound like she was drowning, and I'm the younger sister who apparently never learned how to say no. Do you think that was stupid of me? Be honest in the comments, because looking back I'm not even sure anymore. Here's what I didn't know. While I was sending her thousands of dollars, Vanessa and Kyle were eating out 4 times a week, posting Instagram stories from wine bars, and, get this, they just booked a cruise for next month. But I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 days ago Lily woke up coughing so hard she couldn't catch her breath. Her lips were blue by the time I got her to the ER. They admitted her immediately. Within hours she was in the ICU and I was sitting in a plastic chair that squeaked every time I moved, watching my daughter's chest rise and fall with the help of oxygen she couldn't get on her own. I texted my parents, "Lily's in critical care. Pneumonia. It's bad. I'm scared." My mom responded 6 hours later, praying for her red heart. That was it. No phone call. No, "Do you need us to come?" Nothing. And then I saw it. My dad had posted on Facebook a picture of him and my mom at some upscale seafood place, grinning like they were on vacation. Caption, "Date night done right. Lobster wine glass." Vanessa commented, "Goals." Smiling face with heart eyes. I stared at that post for a solid 5 minutes, my brain trying to process how my parents were out tagging restaurants in their stories while my daughter was fighting for her life. But I told myself maybe they didn't understand how serious it was. Maybe they thought I was overreacting. Maybe. Then 3 days later my phone buzzed. A text from Vanessa. "Hey, so I know you're dealing with Lily and everything, but did you send the $8,000 yet? We really need it by Friday. The kids are expecting new iPads for their grades and the mortgage is due." I read it twice. Then I read it again. My hands started shaking so hard I almost dropped my phone. Lily was still in the ICU. I hadn't slept more than 2 hours at a time in 72 hours. I was surviving on vending machine coffee in sheer terror. And my sister wanted to know where her money was. I didn't even think. I just blocked her number. The next morning my dad started calling. Over and over. I ignored the first 3 calls because I was sitting with Lily while a nurse changed her for, but he kept calling and finally I stepped into the hallway and answered. "Harper, what the hell is wrong with you?" he snapped before I could even say hello. "Excuse me. Vanessa is upset. She says you blocked her. She needed that money and you just, decided to ghost her because you're going through something." I felt something crack inside my chest. "Dad," I said slowly, "my daughter is in critical care." "I know that," he said like I was being dramatic. "But your sister shouldn't have to suffer because you're emotional right now. She has 3 kids, Harper. 3. You think her problems just disappear because Lily's sick?" I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just hung up. And then I stood there in that hallway under the fluorescent lights, listening to the beeping of machines and the distant sound of a child crying somewhere, and I realized something. I had been funding my sister's life for 2 years while she lived better than I did. I had been the family ATM, and the one time I couldn't pay up, because my child was dying, I was the selfish one. Do you know what that feels like? To realize you've been used? I went back into Lily's room, sat down in that horrible squeaky chair, and I made a decision. I wasn't sending a dime. Not now. Not ever again. What I was going to do though, well, you'll see very soon. Because if my family thought I was emotional before, just wait. The next 48 hours were the longest of my life, but not just because of Lily. She started improving, thank God. Her oxygen level stabilized and the doctor said if she kept progressing we might be able to go home in a few days. I should have been relieved. I was relieved. But I was also sitting on a rage so deep I could barely see straight. My phone kept buzzing. My dad called 11 more times. Vanessa tried calling from Kyle's phone. My mom sent a text that said, "Family is supposed to stick together, Harper. We raised you better than this." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I did something I should have done 2 years ago. I logged into my bank account and started going through every single transaction I'd sent to Vanessa. Every mortgage payment. Every emergency she'd claimed. I made a spreadsheet. Yeah, I know I'm that person when I'm angry, and I added it all up. $43,000. I had sent my sister $43,000 over 2 years. Do you know how much money that is? That's a down payment on a house. That's a college fund for Lily. That's my entire savings gone because I believed Vanessa when she cried about struggling. But here's the thing that made my blood boil. I started looking at her social media. Really looking. Designer purses in her posts from 4 months ago. A girl's trip to Vegas I apparently funded without knowing it. Her kids weren't just getting necessities. They had every gaming console, the latest phones, a trampoline the size of my living room in their backyard. And then I found the cruise booking she'd posted in a private Facebook group I was somehow still part of. 7 nights in the Caribbean. Balcony room. Excursions already paid for. They weren't struggling. They were spending. On my dime. I started laughing right there in the hospital room. This unhinged, slightly manic laugh that made the nurse look at me weird. Lily was sleeping and I was having a complete breakdown over a spreadsheet, but I couldn't stop. Because I had an idea. Do you think revenge is wrong? Tell me honestly. Because what I was about to do, some people would call it petty. I call it justice. I screenshotted everything. Every transaction. Every Facebook post. Every tagged location at expensive restaurants while she was supposedly drowning in bills. I saved it all into a neat little folder on my phone. Then I opened my laptop. See, here's something my family didn't know. I have access to Vanessa's email. Not because I'm some hacker. She'd given me her password years ago when she needed me to print something for her and she'd never changed it. I know I shouldn't have kept it, but, well, I did. And what I found when I logged in made everything so much worse and so much better. Vanessa had been lying to Kyle too. There were emails from credit card companies about unpaid balances. Online shopping confirmations for things she'd hidden from him. But the kicker? A whole email thread with my mom about how they were planning to ask me for $15,000 next month because Harper never questions it anyway and she doesn't have kids to spend money on like you do, so really what else is she going to do with it? My mom had helped her plan how to manipulate me. I sat there staring at that email for so long the laptop screen dimmed. You want to know what I did next? I forwarded that entire email chain to Kyle. Every single. Then I sent him my spreadsheet showing exactly how much money I'd given them, alongside screenshots of their cruise booking, their restaurant check-ins, everything. I typed one sentence. Thought you should know where the mortgage payments were actually coming from. And I hit send. 10 minutes later my phone rang. Who is Kyle? Harper, he said and his voice sounded hollow. Is this real? Every word, I said. He was quiet for a long time. Then, I had no idea. I swear to God I had no idea she was taking money from you. She told me her parents were helping us. Nope, I said, popping the like I was discussing the weather. Just me. The emotional younger sister who apparently exists to fund your lifestyle. Jesus Christ, he muttered. Then louder, I'm so sorry. Harper, I'm Vanessa. I heard him yell away from the phone. Get in here. Now. I heard muffled shouting in the background. Kyle came back on the line. I have to go, he said. But Harper, thank you for telling me. And I'm sorry about Lily. I really am. He hung up. I sat there feeling lighter, vindicated. I don't even know. But for the first time in days I smiled. Imagine what happened next in their house. Can you picture it? Because I've been picturing it non-stop. Within an hour my phone exploded. Vanessa called me 17 times in a row. 17. I let every single one go to voicemail and oh my God, you should have heard them. The first one, Harper, what the hell did you send to Kyle? The fifth one, you had no right to go through my emails. The 10th one, sobbing, you just ruined my marriage. Are you happy? I deleted every voicemail without listening all the way through. Then my mom called. I answered this time. Harper Marie, you apologize to your sister right now, she hissed before I could say hello. No, I said simply. Excuse me. I said no, Mom. I'm done. Done being the bank. Done being the backup plan. Done being treated like I don't matter because I don't have the right kind of problems. Your sister is devastated. My daughter almost died, I interrupted, my voice shaking now. And not one of you came. Not one of you even called to check on her. But you want $8,000 and you think I'm the villain here. Silence. Harper. I'm not finished, I said. And God, it felt good. I sent Vanessa $43,000 over 2 years. I have proof of every cent. And I also have proof that she used it for cruises, designer bags, and nights out while lying to her own husband. So if you want to talk about who's devastated, start with me. My mom sputtered. You went through her private. She stole from me, I said flatly. And you helped her. I saw the emails, Mom. I know you were in on it. Another silence. Longer this time. We're your family, she finally whispered. Then act like it, I said. And I hung up. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding. Lily stirred in her sleep and I went to her bedside and just held her tiny hand. I didn't know what would happen next. But I knew one thing. I was done being the doormat. And very, very soon, my family was going to learn exactly what happens when you push someone too far. Because what I did next. Oh, that's when things got really interesting. For 3 days my phone was a war zone. Vanessa left voicemails that alternated between sobbing apologies and screaming threats. My dad sent texts calling me selfish and vindictive. My mom tried the guilt trip angle. You're tearing this family apart. I blocked them all. Lily came home from the hospital and I focused on her. On making her soup, reading her stories, watching her color in her princess coloring book with her little tongue sticking out in concentration. That's what mattered. Not them. But then 2 weeks later something unexpected happened. Kyle called me. Harper, he said quietly. Can we talk? Just 5 minutes. I almost hung up. But something in his voice stopped me. Fine. 5 minutes. He exhaled like he'd been holding his breath. Vanessa and I are in counseling. And I made her get a job. A real one. She starts Monday. I said nothing. I canceled the cruise, he continued. Returned the iPads. I went through everything and Harper. I'm so sorry. I had no idea how bad it was. She'd been hiding credit card statements from me for over a year. That's not my problem anymore, I said. I know it's not. But. He paused. The kids keep asking about you. They miss their Aunt Harper. And Vanessa, she's a mess. She knows she screwed up. Good. Harper, she wants to pay you back. I laughed, actually laughed. With what money, Kyle? We set up a payment plan. $300 a month. It'll take years, but. I don't want her money, I interrupted. I want her to leave me alone. Silence. Then, what if she apologized? Really apologized? She's had 2 weeks to do that. She's scared you hate her. I do hate her, I said simply. Or I did. Now I just don't care. Do you think that's harsh? Maybe it is. I was tired. Just think about it, Kyle said. Please. For the kids. He hung up before I could argue. I didn't think about it. I went back to taking care of Lily, to rebuilding my savings, to remembering what it felt like to not carry everyone else's problems. But then 3 days later there was a knock on my door. I opened it and there stood my mom. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. Her eyes were red. Hi, sweetheart, she said softly. I stared at her. How did you get my address? I've always had it, Harper. She twisted her hands together. Can I come in? Every part of me wanted to say no. But Lily peeked around the corner. She loved her grandma even if I didn't right now, and I sighed. 10 minutes. We sat at my kitchen table. Lily brought my mom one of her drawings and my mom's face crumpled when she took it. I'm sorry, Mom whispered after Lily ran back to her room. Harper, I'm so sorry. For what specifically? I asked coldly. For not coming when Lily was sick. For enabling Vanessa. She wiped her eyes. For forgetting that you're my daughter too. I felt something crack in my chest but I held firm. You helped her manipulate me. I know. I thought I was helping her keep her family together. I was wrong. So wrong. She reached across the table. I didn't take her hand. Your father and I were ashamed. We talked to Vanessa, really talked. And we've cut her off financially. Completely. She has to figure it out on her own now. That's what she should have been doing all along. You're right. Mom nodded, tears streaming now. You're absolutely right. And we don't deserve your forgiveness. But Harper, please, let us try. Let us be better. I looked at this woman who'd raised me, who taught me to be kind and generous, maybe too generous, and I saw that she meant it. But I also wasn't ready to forget. You can see Lily, I said finally. Supervised visits. Once a month. But you and me? That's going to take time. A lot of time. She nodded, crying harder. Thank you. Thank you, honey. And Vanessa? I said. I'm not ready for that. Maybe never. I understand. She left 20 minutes later after playing puzzles with Lily and promising to call before visiting next time. The next day Vanessa sent me a letter. An actual handwritten letter. Harper, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I forgive myself. Kyle showed me everything, the spreadsheet, the emails. Seeing it all written out like that, I felt sick. I was jealous of you. Isn't that stupid? You were always the responsible one, the one who had her life together. And instead of being happy for you, I used you. I took advantage of your kindness because I knew you'd never say no. I'm in therapy now. Real therapy, not just marriage counseling. I'm working on why I felt entitled to your money, your time, your life. And I got a job. It's just retail, but it's something. I'm paying you back. Even if it takes 20 years. You deserve that and more. I don't expect us to be sisters again. But I hope one day maybe you can look at me without hating me. I'm so sorry about Lily. I should have been there. I should have been a better sister, a better person. I love you even though I have no right to say that anymore. Vanessa. I read it twice then put it in a drawer. Maybe one day I'd respond. Maybe not. But here's what I learned from all of this. You can't set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. You can't give pieces of yourself away until there's nothing left and expect people to care when you finally collapse. My family broke my trust. They used me. But in a weird way they also freed me. Because now, I only help people who actually need it, and who respect me enough not to take advantage. Lily's healthy now. She starts kindergarten next month and we're planning a little trip to the coast, just the two of us. My savings account is slowly rebuilding. Mom visits once a month like clockwork and she actually listens now. My dad sent an apology text 3 weeks ago. I haven't responded yet, but I might. Vanessa and we're not there yet. Maybe we never will be. But I'm okay with that. Because for the first time in 2 years I'm putting myself first. And honestly, feels pretty damn good. So that's my story. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you've ever been in a situation like this, where family took advantage of your kindness, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you think I was too harsh or not harsh enough, tell me that too. Hit the like button if this story resonated with you, and if there's anything you didn't like or think I should have done differently, please share your thoughts below. I read every comment. Thanks for being here. Really, it means more than you know.